Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Aaron Robles. I am the founder of FounderSpark, and I'm really excited because today we are releasing the first video of our FounderSpark Origin series. This series is where I interview entrepreneurs and talk to them about their journey in a very honest and vulnerable way. So we're excited to share this content online now and hopefully reach more people in a way that benefits them. Our first speaker is Theophilus Smith, also known as Fresh Laundry. He is an incredible artist. He's a father, he's a husband, and he's talking to us about finding your fire. So how do we find that thing that really ignites us? How do we spend time doing those things that we really love doing and stay away from the things that just don't give us fulfillment? So he talks a lot about his parents and how they gave him that permission to really experiment and try different things. He talks about being lost and how difficult it was for him to find that fulfillment initially and what he did to pull himself out of that. So there's a lot of really great stuff, including he tells us kind of where he came with that name of Fresh Laundry. So it's a really great story. So hopefully you guys get something out of that that really helps you. If you know anyone who would benefit from this video, please share and let people know kind of what we're doing. We're trying to get to as many people as possible. So looking forward to what you guys think about this video, as well as putting out a lot more videos in the future.
A lot of us may know him and his work, but I don't think a lot of us know his story in depth. So this was a great opportunity for us to put him in a place where, you know, we could kind of just get to learn what it's really like to grow into what he's been doing. And congratulations, because you just had your artwork purchased recently, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. Who bought your artwork?
My daughter.
Your daughter.
No.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
I'm
man.
sorry. That's icebreaker.
Swipe, Drake.
Yeah, so Spike Lee just purchased a piece of mine recently. Before we go any further, you'll see pictures on social media and everything like that, but first and foremost, the painting that he invested in me was a picture and inspiration of Trayvon Martin. We actually celebrated his his passing recently. And so definitely that's something that we'll never forget. If you don't know who Trayvon Martin is, please Google, research, be a part, be active. So that was the purpose, the pillar right there.
Right. So, yes, thank you. So I'll do a quick introduction, but you know, we'll jump into the conversation pretty quick. But I mean, Theo is an artist, a husband, a father,
Yep.
many things to many people. And you know, we got an opportunity to meet and talk, and I was just very impressed and very enthralled in the story of how we became to be what we are now.
Yeah.
And you know, so the theme is finding your fire. So this relates to everyone, right? How do you do the thing that you really want to do? How do you not ignore that intuition to do the thing that is your calling versus what everybody else tells you to do? So I hope that throughout you guys are picking up on how this can relate to you guys and how you can use this story to just further your journey as well.
So, December 6th, it was a warm winter. No, but I born and raised St. Louis, Missouri, home of the Cardinals. Sorry, Cubs fans. Born there in a family. I'm the oldest of 4 boys, all wonderful men. My parents did pretty good with this, I think. But born and raised there. But my dad was a manager for a company. We traveled many places around the Midwest region, and we, by way of Michigan, Detroit. We was there, Southfield area. Lived in Philadelphia.
All right, one.
Right, one, I'll take it. But we ended up from Detroit to here. And so this has been kind of my stomping grounds and kind of my upbringing. So my young teenage years, just trying to find out who I am as a person and kind of grow from there. And so from there, went to Goddard Middle School, went to Woodside, I went to Southside.
Southside?
Archers in the building. So stayed here, Taylor University, Fort Wayne campus, and I ended up just staying here. I am married to a beautiful young lady who's back at home, and I love her. I love her dear. With 2 beautiful kids now. I have a boy, 14 and a 15 shoe, and a 3-year-old daughter who is 30.
30.
But besides that, though, that's me in a nutshell. But from there, art has been, and creativity and creative people have been kind of like my saving grace throughout the whole transition. My dad, he did oil paintings
Okay.
when he was in his youth and had a big fro.
It's a hard one.
Yeah, yeah. So did that, and my mom is she does art, but also she's a seamstress.
Okay.
And so between the best of both worlds, it just comes from a creative gene, if you will.
Yeah.
And so besides that, everyone in the household has a gift of art in some kind of manner too. Between me and my brother that's next to me, he does computer graphics. The one that's next to him, he does music. The littlest one does music as well too.
Yeah.
So we're literally in our corners when we're in the house, kind of
your
like
thing.
X-Men
Yeah.
doing our special talents.
And you know, I think it's really cool and important to think about just feeling like you're allowed to do art.
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of people don't feel like they have that permission to be creative. And you know, I think when we're young, we always innately want to be creative, and it
Definitely.
can, for some people, it can be fostered and it could be grown, and for other people, it can get really shut out. So I mean,
Indeed.
for me, my parents I was like, hey, I want to do this. Go for it. I want to be a designer. Go for it. I want to drop
Yeah.
out of college. Go for it. You know,
Yeah.
so just having the permission to do the things that I felt were right really helped me just get that confidence. You know, when you
Indeed.
grow a little bit older.
Indeed.
So, okay, so what would you say that for your art? You're growing up. You're moving. You're doing all these things. What did art do for you?
Art freed me. I'm not trying to cry even early. Art is one of those things that it puts me into a place where I can actually think. I can grow. I can learn. I can make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's okay to make mistakes, you know? And I think that's kind of like the blueprint of everything that we can do in life, you know?
Yeah.
And so if you have that permission, or you give yourself permission to be free in those rights, it's like, what else can you do with your everyday life?
Because you can apply that to pretty much everything you
Definitely,
do, right?
Definitely. And so that was it for me. When I told my mom that I wanted to airbrush, I used to be one of those kids that do T-shirts.
The white tees.
But yeah, in my white tee. But anyway, no. But even before I got seriously into airbrushing, I don't know if you ever remember those like little Crayola kits where you had like the washable markers and you had to pump and spray. My mom was like, "Keep going, honey." She would literally pump
Wow.
while I'm designing.
That isn't support.
And so, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So her caps are great. But it was one of those things. It's like, wow, what else can we get into? And then I have to recognize somebody because no one exposed me to art like this person that's in this room right now. I haven't seen her in a while. She made me cry when I first seen her. Messed me up. But Miss Jenny Sanders.
Who's that? Stand up. Round of applause.
I have to. This woman right here, she exposed me to the arts in Fort Wayne. So as a Southside native, I had my portfolio. I showed her out the gate, hey, this is what I can do. She said, hey, feel free, do what you want. Turn it, make it a grade. And she let me have that liberty.
Right.
I was okay to make mistakes. And then I got exposed to scholastic arts. And then from there just grew and just
having opportunity.
oh my goodness,
to
just
do
opportunity.
something.
And that's
Yeah.
one thing. If you have exposure, what can't you do?
Right.
Oh my goodness. So exposure is definitely important for all of our journeys. Yeah.
Would you say that you just knew all along, like from a young age, where you just art, that's what I'm gonna do, and you were committed, and nothing was stopping you?
No, because once more, everyone kind of find their thing early, and for me, I did not find that. So I was exploring. I mean, like I went from airbrushing, I went to the culinary side, I went to the marketing side of things. I went to try to be communications. Suck at that, but it was one of those things where I didn't want to just exist, and that's what I felt like I was just doing, just existing.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a purpose, you feel worthless. It feels like you're wasting time. You feel like you don't have time. But
So what
Yeah.
changed? I mean, at what point did you started feeling those negative feelings?
it was in my 20s. Jeez, 20s to do something to you guys.
Man, you're telling me.
Trust me, you had to fly though. In my 20s, it was like rock bottom. Everything's going good. I got both parents, family's doing good, got a job, college is going good. Everything is good, you know? But once more, it's just no fulfillment.
Right.
And so I find myself,
It's crucial.
it's very crucial. And I find myself where everyone else is once more exploring life, touching goals, touching dreams. And what about me?
Right.
What about what I can do? What can I do?
Yeah.
What couldn't I do?
You know, and I think it's important to think about the fact that people feel that way at any stage in life.
Yes.
You know, you have a career that fulfilled you when you were 20, 30, and then all of a sudden things are different. You know, things aren't the way that they used to be, right? I mean, everything's digital now. What's the difference between graphic design now and versus how it used to be, you know?
Listen.
Like, it's a totally different set of skills.
People have a lot more tangible things at their fingertips now versus, not say back in my day, but it's one of those things where if like, once more, if you don't have any exposure or perspective, or you're not presented with a perspective, you have nothing. You're staring at a blank wall.
Right.
And so those tools, I didn't go get them. That was my fault though. I didn't learn how to go get them. It was just once more, think of my upbringings, everything was given to me. And so when it was at that point of like saying, okay, now what are you going to do? What are you going to get for yourself? What will you have presented in front of you? How do you know how to function?
Right.
That's when it's one of those moments where it's like, okay, I failed. I'm going back and hide up under the cover.
Right.
You know?
And that's a big difference, you know, because I see it, you know, you have your whole life pretty much mandated for you, right? You go to school, you're doing this, you have homework, you have sports. There's always a routine, but as soon as they say, now it's all you figure out you've never done that before.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to figure out where you spend your time? You know, we're used to just do this because we said so, do that because you'll get in trouble if you don't.
Right.
And then we expect people to go out and then just make all these decisions on how their life is going to be affected, you know? You know, people are making huge financial decisions at 18. You know, what college do I go to and how much debt am I in?
Before you know how to handle
And
money
2 months ago, they were asking permission to go to the bathroom. So, you know, how do you make such a big transition of, I can't even go to the bathroom without permission, but sign on the dotted line and good
Here's
luck
your
out
money.
there.
Yeah.
You know, and at a point where people don't know anything about what the real world is like, you know? So I think that's very important when you talk about not only just an upbringing, but also when you continue through life of how do you learn to critically think? How do you learn to create those decisions for yourself and create the life and actually go get it instead of saying.
And it's one of those things too, we have this cliche, we fake it till we make it. But the thing is, I'm waiting for people in a generation to say, hey, these are my failures. This is where I failed at. This is what I'm not good in. This is where I'm at right now. But then on the other flip side, where those people are at when we present our failures to say, hey, I'll help you.
Right.
Versus, something wrong with that dude over there.
Right.
Something wrong with that woman over there. They'll never get together, but you got the tools.
Yeah. At what point did you find that permission again to say, this is what it is? When did you find yourself and how did that happen?
I gave myself permission numerous times, actually. I would say 3 profound ones. First one with Miss Sanders. Second one with just trying to figure out, hey, get my feet wet. Is this okay to do?
Yeah.
It's okay to step out there a little bit. It was one of those moments where it's like, okay, it was either going to make or break me. I was either going to kill myself, literally, or am I going to go in a different direction, literally? And so I found myself literally in a dark place and was like, this is it. I have no purpose. I'm worthless. Might as well do it. Might as well get it over with.
It's so easy
And
to talk your way into something like that after days and weeks and years. And
I come from a good family. I have both parents. Never missed a meal.
yeah.
But if you don't have a purpose,
So important.
no, don't clap. Don't clap. If that messed me up. If you don't have a purpose, how many don't have a purpose right now? Just be perfectly honest. Perfect place to be. We got 1 person, 2. I'm okay. Who does not have a purpose? Like when you wake up, you don't know what you're doing. I'm okay with that. Okay? I need, and this is why I do what I do. Stay in the process. Find your rhythm. It's just like a drummer. He picks up certain tools and techniques and he finds that one rhythm. And he adds more things into the pattern to make profound percussions. And when you're doing that one thing right, that's your rhythm. and you keep on and adding more elements into your rhythm until you get that rhythm. You won't be perfect at it. You will always stay on beat. But I assure you, you will be free. I'm confident that you'll be free. I'm not arrived yet, but I make a nice sound. Okay? So that's just a side note. All right.
So you found it, you lean into it. What happens next?
You get out of your comfort zone. And there's several comfort zones. There's no like, I'm free, born free, free as the wind. I'm sorry.
You mean it's not overnight?
No, it's not overnight.
Okay.
It's a daily process. And so when I found those first couple rhythms, I wanted to add more sounds to it. So with that, I would say, hey, what do you think of this? And what I mean by what do you think of this? Talking to other people. I talk to strangers, I talk to random people. But then the ultimate comfort zone is going out in the middle of nowhere that you're not familiar with and doing what you're passionate about. And that's like the wilderness almost. You go out there and just say, hey, you either gonna like it or you don't. But guess what? You gain experience. You put that into the rhythm. So I remember sitting at a table, Friendly Fox. That was a plug, right? That was kind of cool. But sitting at Friendly Fox table with a couple handful of people. One of those people was Jay Tubbs.
He's here somewhere.
Yeah, he's there. But I told him, I said, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I would like to try something. And you have to find those people that's going to encourage you.
Right.
And so when you have people that are sharpening iron with you and saying, hey, I'm on a journey just like you, and when you find like-minded people, it makes the journey a little bit more sweeter. So over and over again, I would find random people and said, hey, I don't expect the world out of you, but this is where I'm at, this is what I want to do. And so, hey, he just said, hey, jump into a cypher with me. I paint. Of course, I paint live. For those that have never seen me do such, I spaz out.
It's wonderful.
And I mean it well to do such. And I found it being free. I'm like, okay, this is the way I need to go. So keep going. And so I found myself saying, I want this, not just here, but in other places. What else can I do it with? So I would literally go to work on my lunch. I would paint. Go back to work on my breaks. Come back and paint again. I would go home in my empty apartment, intentionally just only a bed, my clothes, the living room was my studio. Paint all night, get up and do the same thing again, because guess what? I wanted it that bad. And it was one of those things where I had people in my ear saying, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? And I'm gonna paraphrase it, but he said, how bad do you want it? It hurts worse. It hurts less to change than to remain the same, he said. And when you get that mentality where it's going to be a little bit less pain of knowing that you're going with a destination, it makes the journey sweeter. So every day I will paint. Today, even on my lunch, painted, made rips and runs, painted. Why? Because that's a part of my rhythm. It's a big, big thump, but it's still to a greater purpose.
Yeah.
And I could feel it. I don't see it, but when you feel it, you go that direction. So I'm still going. Fresh Laundry, and it's come from years of making mistakes. In a nutshell, depressed young man fell in a load of dirty clothes and was like, this is it. I don't know what I'm doing in life. This is it. I'm in dirty clothes, literally. And the only time I felt fulfillment was either painting, praying, doing artwork. And so the revelation of it behind it is I am hanging my laundry. My canvas is art. It's not art in my world. It's laundry. So you're getting my good thoughts, you're getting my good energy, you're getting my bad times, you're getting an ounce of me each time that I'm painting. And then from there, I just go on these witty rides of organized chaos, if you will. That's the best way to describe my pieces. And with that, I do anything from subjects to, first off, pause. I do a lot of black art. I love black people. Sorry. God, no shameless plug. But I'm not just a black artist. I'm a black artist, but also too, some of my subjects are African American figures and beyond. And that's just a small ounce of me. But I take these elements of people, all walks of life, because guess what? When you go to a laundromat, no one discriminates. Everyone's doing their own thing though, right? In one space, no one judges. Some people, you see people's drawers.
Yeah. It's as out there
In
as
the
you can
laundromat,
get.
that's authentic as you can get. And so my artwork is from capturing all these elements of people and inspiration of life and things that happen to people and politics and social media and just everything. And that's me creating that on canvas and hanging it for all people to see and to, guess what, exchange life.
Yeah.
And so it goes back to being in the laundromat. Hey, having conversations with a stranger. This is what I do, et cetera. What do you do, et cetera. And it just kind of grew from there. And so I literally kind of themed my whole life as being Fresh Laundry. I'm learning where I can't go now. And right now I'm getting that mind frame again where I'm asking myself permission to grow more. Yeah. So of course, like everyone's like, oh, Spike Lee, this is dope, Oscar winner. Oh, my mama, this is dope. But to me, and thankfully I have a team now, so it's like, hey, this is another day at the office.
Right.
So we found a rhythm now where it's like saying, what can we get into? So from here, I have it now where I make one-of-a-kind pieces to people, clients, big and small, nationwide. Internationally, actually, but we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
We're trying to get to that direction as well, too.
Sure.
But building a stronger team. I have a team that does photography. I have a team that does my paintings. I have a team that takes care of financial situations. It's where I wanted to be, but I didn't know how to get there. And when you're doing your craft and people seeing that, because you may not be able to see it in you, and they say, hey, you got something dope right there on you. I want to be a part of that. Have permission to allow yourself to let them be a part of your dopeness.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. That's right.
Like, I want to be a human thumbprint. I want to be like only person, the only Theopolis that you will ever meet that's dope in your life. Okay? Okay? Done? So I challenge you to do the same thing. And I mean, hey, that's where we're at.
Thank you so much. If we
Thank
want to
you.
give him a round of applause, that was phenomenal. It was great. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. We had so much fun making it. Theo brought a ton of energy and he shared a lot of stuff that I think could help a lot of us out. So we want to thank him first and foremost for sitting down and being so open with us. Make sure to support him. You can find his information right here, connect with him and kind of see what he's up to. He's going to do a lot of really cool stuff in the future. I also want to make sure that I take time to say thank you to everyone who supports FounderSpark. From my team putting the events together and making this work, to videos and other online content, and not to mention everyone else who watches and shows up to these events and really supports us. Thank you so much, because it really is a community effort, and I'm so thankful that so many people are seeing the vision and creating it together with me. Make sure to connect with us on social media. You can find our info right here as well. We're always putting out new content that we think will benefit you, so make sure to check us out. And until next time, thank you guys so much for being with us, and we can't wait to see you again.